Greetings, fellow knights. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 7, Beware of the Unseen Threats. So the first order of business is to continue improving the Great Hall. I had intended to. My current plan for the Great Hall is really to set a very low bar, which is to just build a jade billiards table and call it done for now. I don't think it needs stone flooring, at least not at this pass. So what I'm going to do instead is poll you guys about what next building project to undertake. And it is a jumbo long list, so I apologize for the length. We have got a storehouse. A storehouse, of course, because this stockroom is slowly filling up. Or not even slowly, it's rapidly filling up. We have a workshop if we want to start manufacturing things, because right now we have our tailor bench and our smithy just kind of laying around. It's not great. We could additionally work on more bridges for ease of access around the map. I could probably get one to the south if I wanted to, because there's a definite possibility of enemies coming from the south or something. We could also build defenses. I don't think defenses is necessarily an unreasonable goal, given the danger that is present. So defenses, a brewery if you want me to start brewing in a proper room. We've got holding cells because entities, anomalous entities, have in fact been attacking us. So that would not be necessarily a bad idea. A laboratory for research, an alchemy lab for alchemy, guest lodging, or bathrooms, because we've been using a makeshift wood latrine, and at some point, we might kind of be done with that. So have you guys vote on that while we build the billiards table out of jade, hopefully driving up the quality and allowing us to recreate better and having a nicer room in there to boot. Why are these salted room corners different? These are double walled for temperature insulation. Some rooms, the ambient temperature in the room is a larger factor, so that's why that room is like that. Ginger Webb, Glitch, Travasker, Robs, Thomas, Ross, C to keep. Thank you. And cheers. All right. Another thing I think we are going to need, especially heading into our first winter, is a lot of firewood. So I'm going to have Mildred and Lillian, who are not currently all that busy, because we stopped sowing things into the farm, because we're heading into the winter, of course, and things aren't going to survive in the winter in the farm. We'll have them transition to do some woodcut. I know it's not exactly efficient to woodcut the trees on our own island, but the travel time to them is pretty ideal. And it looks to me like storehouse and bathroom are vying for popularity there. So if you haven't voted yet, I'll give you one more minute to decide. I would also like to get Rayvac a recurve bow. And I would like to get Mildred a recurve bow. We don't exactly have the luxury of guards versus regular workers, because we're so essentially understaffed. So having everyone have a bow, or something at least, would put me at ease. Because I don't think the game is going to get any easier with time. So we'll wrap up the whole building the, what are you doing? We'll wrap up the whole billiards table in our Great Hall, and then we'll transition over to whatever you end up voting on. And it looks like a storehouse is going to be the popular option. I can get behind that. Now, one thing I kind of wanted for this colony is sort of individual rooms that I could denote with signs. And I haven't really worked very well towards that. So, building future structures, because of course individual bedrooms don't have their own signs. You have an inn, but building towards that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a storehouse sort of down here, and then like maybe the workshops sprawling to the west on the south wall. From a larger view, the idea of this colony is to have everything along the walls so that my line of sight is not impeded much. So if I built a storehouse like this, it doesn't necessarily share a wall with the other structures. It looks a little bit more organic. I'll drop a wooden door in there. I think we're going to end up with another room here, so maybe what we'll do is I'll have it flush. Meaning that this eventually will be a bedroom, granted a larger one than that one. Or alternatively, I could even double wall the external wall there, something like that. But I'm going to forbid that for now. And then the storehouse can be built more like that. I want to build it over large so that I don't have to adjust its size down the line. Build it once, build it big, and not have to think about it much. And I didn't want to incorporate the steam geyser into it, just because I don't want a storehouse that becomes like 140 degrees or worse in the summer. Because ain't nobody got tolerance for that. Is there any use for the geysers? No, they're just annoying. Alright. So, Matic is currently working on recurve bows. Rayvac, I'm going to have you grab this one. And then we need Lillian and Mildred to have one each. We have one here, and he's making the second one. And that's going to allow us to defend ourselves in the case of an incursion or something. So he'll be tasked with making the billiards table, cooperatively with Klein. And then once they're done, move over to the storehouse. Works for me. Now the geysers, if you're wondering, you could try to use them for ambient heat during the winter. The problem is, of course, like dealing with the amount of heat that they produce is rather uncontrollable, right? There's like not a good way to sort of temperature control it. You know, we don't have air conditioners, we have passive coolers, and trying to use passive coolers in the middle of the winter sounds dumb to me. So that's why I was very much not inclined to try to tap them for heat. Because I ain't got time for that. I think I'm going to double wall the back wall here, like I've been doing double walls everywhere else, so that we don't rely on just a single wall between us and the external. Because, of course, I am concerned about our safety. I'll have Matic take over for the billiards table because he is, of course, the better constructor. And with any luck, we'll end up with something nice. Driving up the quality of the rooms, and yeah. So we're at 67, 74. That's actually right on the precipice of hitting the threshold for very impressive. So it wouldn't take much to improve that room, which is good to know. And at some point, we'll make a double pass and try to work towards that. But not right now. It's storehouse time. Build a storehouse. Alright, is there an associated sign for the storehouse? Not really. I guess the magic shop would be the closest? Or the, well, it wouldn't be a library. So, you get this sign. Because that just looks like a long list of... it's a listicle. This is the listicle room. And at some point, I'll invest in the flagstone to sort of like flagstone up pathwork around the entire thing. So that traversing around means not dragging in so much mud. That should help with filth. Alright, before we continue this project, I think it would help to do a little bit of hauling. It looks like there's a lot of rice in our farm set to decay. And there's really no need for it to rot. We spent all the time sowing it. Let's reap the rewards and actually harvest it before it goes bad. Or haul it, rather, before it goes bad. And maybe what I'll do is I'll have Matic exempt from the hauling so that he can continue building. He is the best builder after all. So it makes sense to have him on task while as everyone else is trying to tidy up. Now, a storehouse would be a really poor storehouse if it was made with wooden floors. So that's another thing I'm going to do is to flagstone or tile it up. Because I really don't want things burning down. I used wood initially just because it was convenient, but long term, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I would like to start only using stone as a building material, apart from the doors, because opening and closing speed of the doors matter a lot more than their flammability, in my opinion. A hunting site. Okay. Fair enough. It's funny, they asked for like a peace treaty or whatever, and then they're like encroaching on our territory. Because of course they would be. Alright, so before Manic starts to queue up the plant cuts here, who he is like super terrible at it, I'll have Lilin cut those trees. Not really sure how you cut a tree down with a scythe, but I love the concept of that. Alright, I think we need shelving before we need flooring. Because honestly, the state of our current, like, temporary stockroom is disgusting. And I'm not going to fill this entirely up with shelves. Because I don't think they're necessary. I don't think we have that much stuff just yet, and it can grow as we expand. I'm assuming the copy and paste settings will be okay. I suppose we'll see. And then the other thing I might want to consider paired with this is to get a quarry around here so that we can quarry up our granite. So Psychic Boring just got researched. What would you like to research next? Devil Strand. We have long blades. Long blades would give us Dane axes, halberds, longswords, pikes, claymores. One of the benefits of Great Bow that I forgot to mention is it would allow for wall-mounted weaponry, which might be helpful. I don't know. It's up to you. We have great bows, plate armor, carpet making, heavy bridges. Heavy bridges, of course, made of stone, not the heavy bridges that are introduced into Odyssey. So if we open up the research tree here, the heavy bridges are like stone-based. Medieval architecture. So medieval architecture, what this does, medieval architecture opens up like castle gates, which are much higher HP, and castle walls, which are much higher HP, which would help with defense, and it would also significantly help with holding cells, because the security of a holding cell is based upon the like walls and doors HP. And it also allows you for like leather flooring and timbered walls and stuff like that. Now have you decide between all those options, and I'll give you 2.5 minutes to make a decision. I think in the meantime, I'm going to queue up something so that Rayvac is actually working. So I'll queue up medieval architecture, even though it's too soon to call a winner. Alright, so what I was going to do is put a quarry in here. Let's drop it right here is fine. No, maybe in here. Because I don't necessarily want it blocked under Overhead Mountain. Because I want it to have a clear path to sunlight. Because if I could avoid torch lighting it, that would be great. And then paired with that will be granite platforms here. And these granite platforms, I will queue up to only allow things to come out of the quarry at the lowest possible priority available to us. So, clear all. So we're going to want in here, let's see. Jade, gold, silver, steel, uranium. I'm not really sure that the quarry quarries up anything besides those. And it does quarry up chunks, but like, I wouldn't care about putting chunks there. Yeah, right in front of the rec room? Exactly. And, just in case the people around here are blind, this happens to be the quarry. I'll put a sign there. And the reason for the quarry is if we want to stone floor up the entire storehouse, that's a lot more granite than I have access to on this island. Basically, this island has been stripped of loose stone, apart from, like, a few chunks of slate. So we're going to want to locally source stuff so we don't have to go running like crazy. Alternatively, what you could do is move the stone cutting operation out here, cut the stones and then haul the stones, because one stone is 20, whereas a stack is 75, so it's a little bit more efficient to cut the stones in place and then to haul the stones. But I'm not trying to build a pyramid, so I'm not trying to figure out the logistics of that. And it looks like we've settled on medieval architecture. Got it. Now, even with medieval architecture, I'm not necessarily going to double back and redo the walls. Ambrosia. Let's check on the bushes. Ready to harvest? Ready to harvest. We're going to have so much ambrosia, it's going to be ridiculous. And of course, like, no way to keep it from spoiling. One of the reasons why I, like, kind of don't care that much. Alright. There's our quarry. And we can quarry up granite chunks and blocks. I guess what I could do is chisel blocks, not chunks. And then put stone blocks as a allowable on these quarry platforms. And I'm going to clear out the general stockpiles priority so that anyone hauling anything will end up hauling it down here. And it's already getting organized. I like it. I like to see it. Guess I should allow the quarrying. Looking at our quarry priorities. Yep, they seem fine. Now, if Mildred's gonna join in there, we definitely ought to get the pick in her hands. Where'd my other pick go? It probably got hauled. I likely need a specific shelf for tools. I'll build one there. Now, tools in this game are like weapons. So, broom, building hammer, technically a bone saw, although that's barely a tool. Meat cleaver, pickaxe, scythe. That'll work, and I'll put it as critical. right, this stockroom is definitely getting emptied out, and that's awesome. Because it was a big old mess before, and that should allow us to actually get rid of this entire wooden room eventually. Maybe what I'll do is I'll move Ravak's research into here, so that I can phase out this entire room entirely, minus the bathroom. The latrine. Hey, Ravak, can you step away from that for just a moment? Klein and Matic, move it. And this room should also stay cleaner, as there's a lot more tiles between it and the outside than the past one. Nice. Alright, let's do a high priority haul again. And try to get all of the stuff in here, move down there, and then see how many more shelves we need. And that will be a good concept of, like, whether we need to expand the stockroom or not. Bonesaw sounds like a Dexter tool. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, the Bonesaw, like, speeds up medicine, but, like, gives you a horrible chance for surgery fails. Operation goes a lot faster, success drops. Yeah, let's not use that. I wish not to join the ranks of Robert Liston in the, historical fails of surgery. I think that was his name. Yep, that was his name. The surgeon who famously killed 3 people with 1 surgery. Oh, God! Panic! Everyone else is coming here, right? I saw Mildred. Wow, he juked that thing good. Alright, he did get caught on it, but still. Rude? Another reason to have everyone sleep kind of on top of one another, so that there's no being isolated. Sightstealer shrieks. Oh joy. Alright, Klein, finish this bad boy up. A Volca. It's what, 3 in the morning? Alright, Medic, I think what I'm gonna do is give you a bow. You are an early riser. I'm gonna give you a bow and tell you to guard. No, I don't really trust that. I'm gonna have Klein go to the gate now. With Avalka and Scorpio. So, your colonists hear sightstealers shrieking in the distance. It's hard to tell where they are or how many. They might arrive immediately or days from now. I am preparing for the immediately, and I'm gonna ready myself for the long haul. But obviously, right after, like, a horrible attack, one would assume you would check the gates. Man, I was not expecting getting jumped by a sightstealer. Alright, Medic, how about nobody goes out right now? Sound fair? It's for your own good. Alright, I think what I'll do, guards. I am going to start to assign guards, like proper guards, because I think there's a very real possibility that we are going to be dealing with sightstealers. I mean, obviously they're like scheduled to come. So, Scorpio and Avalka are going to guard at the red spots, but Ravak and Scorpio are going to go on night schedule. They're going to be nocturnal. And that way, there's someone on duty at all times. I think the inside zone includes that zone. I like how they just like, we're like, I'm on duty, so I'll go to sleep. That's because Hall is higher priority than Guard. Guard. There we go. So I think Kavaka's headed to it. And in this way, maybe what we'll do is have the guard spot here. I don't want it so far away that, that they can't get to cover, but I would like the good sight lines. And I think the tower is a little bit too far, given the sort of lack of muscle power and security that we have in the base. But I don't think it's unreasonable to keep someone at guard, because we did hear them shriek. And they're swapping tasks so they can tend to their needs and all that stuff. Did you store the sightstealer in the inventory? No, it's just behind the tree. He didn't pocket it. He's like, ooh, a piece of candy. Gray and red fleshy candy that came from a demon, but you know, candy. Said nobody ever in the history of candy. I just zone restrict him so he couldn't go out there, which I thought was a pretty reasonable restriction. Going out there right now sounds like a bad idea. Man, this waiting game for like when they're gonna arrive is killing me. I don't like it. But we'll keep people in guard all the same. So it looks like I did in fact build enough shelves. I don't see that we have an issue. What I'll do is I'll need like shelves for, well, I should probably have like some composting room at some point. But I would like to phase out this whole structure sooner or later. Because it's A, wooden, B, blocks line of sight, and C, ugly. So there's a lot of reasons to get rid of it. But before I do that, we are going to want to tile this bad boy up. Which is a lot of stone cutting before I'm ready to call it done. Man, it is pretty hot in the Great Hall. Well, I like them to keep in watch, but I am fearful about their security. Okay, yep. I had every right to be. Juke! Because, of course, you don't really get to see them coming. So one of the advantages that I have with this base is there is a bit of a natural choke point here. Rayvank, you might not want to be the only one going that way. Lilin, I don't believe you're ready for this fight. Go away. Mildred, you too. Leave it to the ones who can. Oh, I want to select Matic. There we go. Now, luckily, sightstealers aren't, like, incredibly tanky. They are disabled pretty quickly, depending on how many of them there are. That might be it. Although, Avaka did get clawed in the head. That's not fun. Your colonists hear a huge number of distant sightstealers screaming in their twisted rage. They are coming. More? Really? Okay. I almost said really in Mandarin. Alright, well, we don't have anywhere to store these sightstealers, so I'm not about to capture them. So I'll finish them off, with Scorpio. Ooh, we got a shard. Again, piece of candy. Matic, you got clawed up pretty good too. And then Klein as well. And I preached health to Avalka because she got it the worst. She got jumped during the fight. Okay, I think we are secure for now. Famous last words. And we'll just have to keep watch continually. But this, of course, is the benefit of having castle walls, is we have controlled access points, right? We control where people are able to go, and that's going to help keep them alive. I'm going to temporarily allow this area to be quote-unquote inside so that we can haul the corpses outside. Because I don't really need rotted corpses piling up on me. Nobody needs that. So the research that was illuminated for us as a result would be proximity detector as a result of finding the first sightstealer. And it is a medieval styled one, if you were wondering, which I'm assuming you were. All right, Stockroom's looking dull, but it's getting thrown together. Inspired peace talks? Yeah, I really had no intention of going. I think in order to make this guard spot a little bit not ugly, I will clean up this rubble just because it's like adjacent. Ooh, Matic and Lil are getting married. It's adjacent to the guard spot, which makes it, you know, a particularly, a blight on the land, if you will. Can I skin them? You mean butcher them? Yes, I could. I'm actually a little curious about the curate meat with salt. I don't want to abuse this mod. I am gonna guess that if you put twisted meat on it, it just comes out as salted meat, which is disgusting, which is a really good reason not to butcher them, unless I am trying to make chem fuel, which at the moment I am not. Oh god, it's you again. Okay. They really weren't joking. I, like, just beset by sightstealers. Lillian, I don't know what you're gonna do with a scythe there. How about everybody fall back to the center? And Klein step up and intercept. This is very much like rally the villagers with pitchforks type of situation here. But it actually only looks like 2 of them, which is a lot more tolerable than I thought it would be. But it was also like wave 3 of sites. Oh, no, hello. Okay, all right. Why did I open my damn mouth? Okay. Yeah, nothing like taunting an invisible foe. Oh, there was only 2 of them? Said the idiot. Good lord. Oh, well, they just keep... Yep. Mildred, fall back. You mighty octogenarian. Alright, Rayvac. Issue some tendings. Klein, you suffered just a lot. Oh, no, not right now. Every time I think I'm done, I'm not. Will I ever learn this lesson? Another shard. Okay. Rayvac. Now, try to tend for the nth time. We got 12 of them. Plus the 6 over there. So like 18, 15 sightstealers. I thought there was more. But yeah. Oh, no. 18 of them. Because, you know, 3 of them were wounded. Am I tending a sightstealer? I might be. I don't know. Yes, I was. I mean, it's actually not, strictly speaking, a terrible way to practice your medicine, but, like, that's absolutely not what our knights are going to be doing. Because I'm not a maniac. Alright, you got your neck tore. Okay, we're not even done. What the hell? Oh, yeah, well, that was pretty awesome. Just one-shot it. I like it. Tend to Valka's neck wound. Thing went for the jugular. And then Lilin and Matic and Scorpio, you guys step up a little bit. Alright, Lilin can tend, so I'll have Lilin practice tending on Klein. Are we done? I don't know. I feel done. Bluebird, why? Just gonna call you Captain Heart Attack. Okay. Ripped necks open. Covered in wounds. Yep. Yep. It's pretty nasty. Alright. I think it's probably worth keeping someone on watch, like, in perpetuity for now. Because I really don't see the game letting up with the whole we're trying to murder you bad situation going on. So, to that end, guard duty is now permanent. Sorry, Avalka and Line. I think what I'll do is... Because he's not strictly a night owl. Like, he's not actually a night owl. I will change this schedule a little bit. Like that. I don't think it will actually functionally work all that well, but we'll see. Wow, imagine spending like 8 hours tending to one person's wound. Wow, wounds. Okay, there was a few of them, I suppose. Oh, we also have a Taral beyond the bridge, which is not safe either. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Darkest Age survivors.